Welcome to the Diary of an Apartment Investor podcast. I'm your host, Brian Briscoe with Streamline Capital and the director of the Tribe of Titans. So today we're going to talk about a concept known as skin in the game. And SEC attorney Mauricio Raul posted something on LinkedIn recently about it, which kind of inspired me today. You know, a lot of times I kind of look to LinkedIn for some inspiration on what to talk about in these multifamily briefs. So that said, if you have any questions, definitely reach out to me. If there's something you want me to explain, definitely reach out. Tell me what you want me to do on this multifamily brief episode, and I'm happy to do it. But we're going to talk about skin in the game today because I think it's an important concept, all right? So what is it? It basically means that you have something writing in the deal. So talking about apartment investing, most people who get into apartment investing are syndicating. And what does it mean? When you syndicate, you find a deal, you put it under contract, and you bring a bunch of people in, okay? And you convince them to invest in this deal. It's a great deal. You convince them to invest in you in a lot of cases because you're the one that's going to be putting the deal together, operating the deal, and hopefully making a lot of money for everybody. But something that's it's a little easier to convince people to invest with you if you have significant skin in the game, okay? And what do I mean by skin in the game? You have money writing in the deal. That's typically what a lot of people are looking at, is you have money writing in the deal. Now, the question is how much skin in the game is appropriate? And that's what Mauricio put on LinkedIn, is how much. He kind of put a blank question out there, or a question out there for any operator. How much skin in the game do you typically put in each deal as an operator? And his response was, according to the SEC filings, the answer is a very low number. Most people are putting in a low number, like $50,000 for a large opportunity. Now, I think a lot of it's a relative. Should you have skin in the game? Absolutely. But there's a couple of things to look at when determining how much skin you have to have in the game, okay? Lenders, number one, okay? Lenders are typically going to have a certain requirement for skin in the game. So for example, when you're getting an agency loan, they're typically going to require the general partnership to collectively have 10% of all the equity. So if it's a $1 million raise, the general partnership is going to have at least $100,000 into the deal. All right. If it's a $5 million raise, they typically going to want to have $500,000 into the deal. Okay. So roughly 10% of the equity raise is kind of where lenders want the GP to fall. Okay. So when you look at skin in the game, we can look at the GP as a whole. And I think a lot of the industry practice, a lot of people are trying to hit at least 10% sponsorship skin in the game. Now, personal skin in the game. Okay, does that mean if the GP collectively has to put in 10% of the equity, does that mean each individual GP member has to? All right. The answer is no. Everybody does not have to have skin in the game. But I would say that if you are raising capital, it's a lot easier to raise if you have skin in the game. If you can come to the table trying to convince your friends and neighbors and family members to invest in the deal, you're in a much stronger position if you are also investing. Okay. It makes a big difference saying, hey guys, invest in this deal because it's a great deal, versus, hey guys, I'm investing in this deal. I think it's the greatest thing I've seen in a long time. It's going to be an amazing investment opportunity. Will you guys invest with me? Or who wants to invest with me? It's a much stronger position when you're raising capital. So number one, if you're raising capital, try to put skin in the game. Okay. Number two, the second important thing for skin in the game is you're going to make more money. All right. If you have skin in the game, you're going to make more money. So you're putting your dollars to work on the LP side of the fence. And ideally, you're getting a piece of the general partnership as well. So if the investors are making 15% annualized on their money, you're going to make, depending on how much money have you in the deal and what your GP percentage is, you're going to make a lot more money by having skin in the game as well. All right. So lots of reasons to have skin in the game to begin with. Now, how much? All right. I always say this comes down to, what your net worth is, and how much you have available. All right. I don't think anybody expects you to put your last penny into the deal. Right. But, if you have a net worth of $250,000, obviously there's a big cap on what you can put in there. So if you have a net worth of $250,000, I would personally try to put together the minimum amount you're asking your investors to do. All right. Now, this does get difficult. And incidentally, when I started syndicating, my net worth was somewhere between $300,000 and $500,000, right? And most of that came from a couple of rental properties that I had and sold to be able to get into the industry. All right. So one of the things that's difficult with skin in the game and what's kind of difficult to manage for a lot of new syndicators is you might have enough money to put skin in the game for deal number one. Okay, so let's say deal number one comes along, your minimum investment amount is $50,000, and you put $50,000 in it. You met the minimum investment amount. All right, you're able to go to your friends and family and say, "Hey guys, I'm putting $50,000 in this deal. Like I said earlier, who wants to invest with me?" Okay, much stronger position. All right, but then deal number two, deal number three, deal number four, where is that skin in the game going to come from? Good question. So if all you have is $50,000 liquid and you're planning on doing a couple of deals, maybe you come in at a lower amount is the answer. Maybe instead of putting $50,000 in that first deal, you put $25,000 in. Be honest about it. And when people ask you, tell them, "Hey, I've got $25,000 in this deal, and I've got another deal that we're looking at that I'm going to put another $25,000 in later." But end of the day, having skin in the game is important to do. What I would recommend, number one, the general partnership as a whole should have roughly 10% of all the equity. I personally think every individual in the GP should have some money riding in the deal. Make it personal. All right. But once again, not everybody's going to be able to put in $50,000. If you are able to put in the minimum investment amount for the deal, that's the number I think you should come in. And incidentally, it gets easier as time goes on. You start making money, you start closing deals, you start getting those acquisition fees, you start coming full cycle on deals. And the longer you do this, the easier it is to start coming up with that $50,000 per deal to keep the train rolling. And once again, as I mentioned up front, you make a whole lot more money in deals if you put money into the deals. Obviously, you're going to make money as a GP, but if you really want to grow your net worth faster, put your money where your mouth is, have some skin in the game. And it's going to make it a lot easier for you to get the loans. It's going to make it a lot easier to find investors, and everybody wins. Anyway, that's it for today, and hope you enjoy Thanksgiving, which is tomorrow. So see you guys later.
Hey, if you like that episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But more importantly, if you haven't joined our multifamily educational community, the Tribe of Titans, yet, you are missing out. So get yourself 30 days free by clicking the link below in the description, or go to thetribeoftitans.info, and we'll see you there.